First question comes from Rebecca Harlow.
Coach, from your perspective, what do you make of this game? You put yourself in a situation where you've got a 14-point lead in the beginning of the fourth quarter there. The guys almost let it go with their defense, but then they find the grit and the resolve to, make sure that they still come up with the win.
They showed, I thought, a lot of toughness. I knew it would be a challenge for us in terms of back-to-back early start. And I love the way we started the game, and we played with the lead for most of the game, and then we took the hit to start the fourth quarter. But I think having the ability to take a punch and get back up, keep fighting, and find a way to win, that's a big part of this league. And so I love the toughness that we showed down the stretch. And that's a very well-coached, hard-playing team that poses a lot of problems for you.
Mark Berman, New York Post.
Hey, Tom. Julius had a weird stat line, a tough shooting night, but he's still putting up big numbers, looked exhausted, though. How do you describe what he did out there tonight?
Yeah, I love the way he competed, and we talked about that after the game. It was one of those games in which, and they did a great job in guarding him, and he kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and he did other things to help us win. His rebounding was off the charts. He finally got to the line late in the game, so that was critical. And then those two loose balls where he was first to the floor, that was huge as well. So, those that's what you have to do. And he's done so many things for the team all year, and we're having a quality play from a number of guys. I thought the rebounding effort was superb. When you look at the way RJ played and his rebounding, his clutch plays down the stretch, I think that's critical for our team.
Steve Popper, Newsday.
Hey, Tom, with where the team is at right now, do you like playing these kind of games, like a low-scoring, tight affair that they've got to get through?
I love winning. So low-scoring, high-scoring, medium scoring, it doesn't matter. I just want to win. So whatever we have to do to find a way to win and improve each and every day, I want us to be playing our best down the stretch. I think a big part of the NBA is the conditioning component. And one of the main reasons why you have to be in great shape is the intensity of a game is very unique. And then throughout the course of the season, there's different challenges where situations in which you may have to travel, you may have back-to-backs, you may be, down players with injury, and you have to be ready to handle each situation. So the important thing for us is to find ways to win. And just like everything else, winning's a habit, and you have to work at it.
Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey, Tom, coming out of that timeout with about a minute left, you get Randall in isolation against Birch. Is that what you wanted out of that timeout? And can you kind of take me through that play?
Well, I don't want to go through exactly what we were looking for, but obviously when you get into those situations, you're trying to design things for your primary scorers to get into certain situations, and you understand how the game will be officiated at that point. So all of it factors into it. Most of the plays are going to have three options on it, and oftentimes the first one's taken away, and the second and third are the ones that you eventually get to. But we have to be good at executing in those situations, and that's something that we have to work on.
Mike Vaccaro, New York Post.
Tom, a couple of strong outings from RJ in a row. What are you seeing from him at this point of his second year in terms of his development and his attitude?
His attitude's been great. I think he's in a really good place. And at the beginning of the season, people were talking about his shooting, but he was doing so many other things well for us. He was rebounding the ball well. He was making very good rim reads, and he was high assists on most nights. And then I knew that I really believe the shooting will come around. He's put a lot of extra time into it. He's in a good rhythm now. He has real good balance. So I think the sky's the limit. I think he's learning, as most young players do, but he can score a bunch of different ways, and having the ability to put it on the floor catch and shoot, play pick and roll, post up, run the floor. And if when he moves without the ball, that's what makes him really, really tough to guard, I think.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
First question comes from Rebecca Harlow, MSG.
Julius, moving into this road trip ahead, how much do you take away from the fact that you've built 2 back-to-back wins here heading into a tough road trip?
Take a lot. It was huge. 2 huge wins for us. Could have been 3 with the Cleveland win, but kind of let that one slip away. But it's 2 huge wins and on an extremely tough back-to-back and get a couple days rest, so it'll be big for us. And, we have a lot of confidence going into this road trip for sure.
Mike Vorkanoff, The Athletic.
Hey, Julius. You guys allowing 2 teams to score less than 85 points in consecutive games. First time that's been done in more than a few seasons. The defense is 5th in the NBA now. I mean, what has been working so well in terms of concepts for you that you're doing this defensively?
We got back to our principles. I'm not going to share what that is, but we got back to our principles, and we're just helping each other out, playing for each other on that end, and it's making it extremely easy for us, when we do that. So we just got to continue to do that and build the right habits and play unselfish on that end and play for each other. And we'll give ourselves a chance to win every night. Honestly, we didn't hit shots tonight, and that's not what won us the game. Our defense is what won us the game today, and I'm proud of everybody.
Steve Popper, Newsday.
Hey, Julius, what you're just talking about, is there lessons to be learned for this team when things aren't going down to fight through and lose the lead in the fourth quarter, come back like that?
Yeah, it's a lot of lessons. Like I said, it was a tough one for us, especially with it being a back-to-back in 2 early games. That's really tough. I think it's the first time in my career that I've ever had that. So it was extremely tough, but we won the game with our fight, with our passion, how unselfish we played for each other, and we just fought on the defensive end.
Dennis Gorman, AP.
Hi, Julius. To kind of double down on what Steve said, what does it say about your group, as young as it is, that you were able to find a way to win a game like today's game?
We're just staying in the moment. We have a great coaching staff, but our group is we're just learning how to win. Staying in the moment, trying to value each possession as much as we can. And we're a young group, but we're learning every day how to win. And I credit that to our coaches. They're doing a great job of preparing us and making sure that we know the importance of every possession. And, we're starting to learn that.
Mark Berman, New York Post.
Hey, Julius, how would you describe your day? Your tough shooting line, but you put up numbers and made some big plays at the end.
Exactly how you described it, Mark. It was tough. Just a little sluggish or whatever it is. Shots just weren't falling and, missing layups and all that type of stuff. But through it all, I just try to stay in the game, try to stay focused, try to impose my will on other parts, whether it's my defense or my rebounding. And eventually down the stretch, I was able to, find some looks that I liked and step up and make some shots and make some free throws. So, that's just how the game is. It'll reward you eventually. So you just got to be mentally strong, stay with it, and try to play the game the right way. And eventually, it'll come around.
Last question comes from Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey, Julius, I actually have 2 questions. One is, how do you feel physically after playing 40 minutes on the second day of a back-to-back? And second question is, a lot coming into the season, everybody looked at the team's youth and athleticism and said, hey, they're going to play fast. But you guys actually had the slowest pace in the NBA, and it's been working. I mean, when you guys win, you hold the other team to a low score. So, is that the kind of style that this team, that's going to be successful for this team?
What was your first question, man? I'm
sorry about the minute.
How I feel. Honestly, bro, I'm ready. I feel great. My body feels fine. I have a couple of bruises, I guess. It was a physical game today, but my body feels great. I prepared for this. all summer, and my conditioning, my body feels great. To be honest, though, I'm ready to go home, and I'm gonna get a glass of wine, and I ain't had wine in a couple months, so I'm gonna get some wine tonight and enjoy the rest of the day with my wife my son before we go on this road trip, and do whatever recovery I need to do, to get ready for the next one. And then as far as the pace, honestly, we're winning games. We've had games where we looked extremely well on offense, and we have games where we just didn't shoot the ball well. But we're finding ways to win, and that's the important part. And one thing we know we can rely on is our defense every night and our rebounding. So that's what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Julius.
Thank you.
First question, Rebecca Harlow.
Elfrid, this game today, can you just describe the grit that you got from your team in the fourth quarter there? It just looked like there was a resolve where after leading this entire game, once it was tied, you weren't going to lose this one.
Yeah, just talk about keep fighting, finding a way to win. It's hard to win games in this league, and I feel like we're still learning, but I think we took a big step tonight.
Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey, Elfrid, I know it's been a while since you've been on Orlando, but is there still any extra juice playing against your old team?
I always like beating them for sure, but I still have a lot of great relationships with a lot of guys over there, even people that's just on staff and stuff like that. So, good people, but always feel good to beat them.
Amanda Hajar, Next Digital.
Elfrid, you had a drive and you finished it with authority on the dunk. Can you just walk me through that play, what you saw, how you got in the lane, and then your decision, obviously, to go to the rim with it?
Just trying to get downhill, trying to stay in the paint. I think when I'm in the paint, good things usually happen. Whether it's kicking out, getting the lob or, finishing myself. So, just trying to get downhill. Was able to kind of get the split. Felt like I had a step, so just try to turn it over.
Steve Popper, Newsday.
Elfrid, sort of that backup quarterback thing. Whenever a rookie, Emmanuel's been playing well at times, New York seems to fall in love quickly. Do you hear any of that of people saying, put him in, or do you ignore all that?
I don't pay attention to none of y'all. No disrespect. I'm just worried about, what's going on with this team, and rooting for guys. Whoever night it may be, whether it's Quick night, whether it's Julius night, whether it's RJ's night, whether it's Austin night, whoever's rolling gives us the best chance to win. That's who we should have on the floor.
Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey, Elfrid, I know you had that injury last season early, but you guys didn't win your 7th game last season until the 28th game or whatever. Does this season feel different already?
Yeah, way different. Just our approach to the season. Thank God that I've been healthy. I think it has a lot to do with it as well. But it's definitely been different. Guys came back ready to play this year. I think guys really worked on their game this summer. Coach is doing a good job, and the entire coaching staff has done a good job of having us prepared to play games. And it's still early. We feel like we have a lot of room for improvement. We're not really satisfied with this, so we're just gonna keep learning, keep building, and keep pushing.
Steve Popper, Newsday.
Yeah, what does it do for you guys and for the young guys on the team to have a game like today where maybe shots aren't falling for everybody and still fight it off in the fourth quarter and hang on?
Coach talk about it all the time. Like, your shot's not always going to be there, but your defense has to always be there. Rebounding has to always be there. And, you look at the stat sheet, Julius had a bunch of rebounds. I think RJ had a bunch of rebounds. And we play a good, solid team defense. And that's what it's going to take sometimes. It's hard to win in this league, so it's going to take, some games grinding it out. And, like I said, we was able to do that. So I think it's good for them to see that early.
Last question, Bobby Childs.
Elf, you've been a veteran in the league for a while, and as you talked about learning, right? You're learning a new coaching staff, new scheme, got some new players in there. Can you talk about what usually takes place on the road and how that team bonding and learning occurs, and if there's any silver lining in COVID that actually helps you guys bond better?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of bonding on the road, like you say. We can't do as much stuff outside you know, because of all the rules and stuff. But, you know, being in a hotel, you know, we eat a lot together, so that's been good. You know, I don't know. It's definitely different. It's definitely a different curve, but like I said, the coaching staff has been doing a good job. We have a great group. Everybody, you know, seems to like each other. So, you know, we're building a lot of chemistry.
Thank you, Elfrid.
Thank y'all.